It is lunchtime with Bertie. I don't actually know if this is going to be that long, but it is my lunch hour. So I wanted to try to make a couple videos really quickly on some thoughts I've had. This is all unnecessary speak, but it is me. It's how I process. Okay, so I was thinking, when I sit, okay, and I think it's my ADHD brain, perhaps. I don't know. I always question everything, right? Could it be this? Could it be that? Could it be this? Could it be that? Could be anything. So when I'm moving, that is when my brain is the most creative, as far as action goes. If I'm laying down and if I'm creative and there's no distractions, then I can be creative as well. And it's all just mind stuff. But if I'm thinking of solutions and ideas, those have to happen in motion. And it doesn't have to be my body actually physically moving. If I'm driving in a car, something about that engagement of something focused on, but that is obviously very autopilot, if you will. You have to focus, but you can also then begin to think of ideas as you're driving to, any problems or solutions to problems. Okay, so anyways, with that being said, the kind of therapist I would be, I like to play these hypotheticals if y'all haven't noticed, but the kind of therapist or coach I would be is not one that just has you come and sit in the office. Because unless I'm asking you, and this is why I think ADHDers go right to the heart of any matter. They go to the depth. They go to something interesting, because we get really bored with surface level interactions. How often can you talk about actual weather in a day, right? So we like to stay engaged in a conversation. We have to be digging for answers or curiosity out of our own brain. And so that's why we'll usually ask a lot of questions, or we'll try to find relatableness, and then we interrupt you. But I forgot where I was going with that. Golly, ADHD. I just want to wear a sign. Not just let people know, hey, I have ADHD, but hey, these are some things that happen. And I'm an adult. Can you imagine as a child? Okay, here's another thing. Okay, this is a lot of ADHD here, but I do want to move over to energy type of coach. I want to be. Let's finish that thought. Okay, these little live videos that I'm doing on my lunch hour, I'm going to upload them as is. I will edit out all the fluff, remove the filler words. But other than that, because this is a good practice for me to ad-lib and to work on my communication style without using too many words, which is very difficult for me. Very difficult. Because I love words. Okay, back to the coaching style. So the reason I wouldn't just sit in a therapist's office is because, again, I'd have to ask you very engaging questions. But I feel like that is good for when you want to get into depth, just to get it out, just to talk, to ruminate, to really think. But I think if you want a solution, that is found in motion. It's not found just sitting. So even if you're actively engaged, motion of writing, it'll help you with a solution. If you're walking, it'll help your brain start activating and start thinking of ideas because you're in motion. So I feel like motion is good for creating solutions to problems, or solutions to, creative to move forward. The sitting, the thinking, the energy where you're here is more for deep reflection, if that makes sense. So the kind of therapist I would be was maybe both, because I can sit and talk with you. Y'all, I'm not even a degreed therapist. I do not have a psychology degree. I do by immersion. In my memoir, y'all will find out that I lived with, my ex-husband had severe mental illness. It progressed through the 18 years that we were together. And so I feel as though I am a pro in mental health because I have been immersed in it. And when you're immersed in it, there's a big difference living with it, having to figure it out, going to these different therapists, all these different sessions. All the therapists are saying different things. I had to start going to make sure that the whole story was being told, because I saw the whole story. And I was biased, but I also knew that the more you were upfront with a therapist, that's the only way it really works. So I wanted to give him all the details. Again, it was easy because it was about him, not about me. But, so I feel like I have a lot of experience in the immersive field of psychology. And I was never diagnosed with ADHD, but I clearly have it. I'm also a twice exceptional, which means I have ADHD. So I have a neurodivergent brain, but I also have a gifted brain. And it's really more just a gifted in my senses, gifted in pulling pieces together, gifted in seeing 100 different things and bringing them down to one point, like telling you how each one connects to this one thing. Like I can see it all really fast across different fields. I mean, it's hard to explain how gifted I am. I'm just kidding. Okay, I mean it is, but I'm just kidding about the whole like I'm really not like, I mean, I'm proud of that gift. And it excites me that it's something that I'll be able to share now that I've learned to hone it. But, okay. So ADHD, I also feel like ADHDers, I'm going to test this theory out. I need to research it some more. But I'm curious to know. So I was not medicated, okay? I have taken ADHD meds now, but as a child, I was never medicated. And I've never actually formally been diagnosed or medicated. I will not lie and tell you that I used to take my husband's meds, because when he was doing whatever, I was like, fine, I'll take his meds then, because it helped me. And he would never take them because he also had other issues versus ADHD. It ended up, anyways, okay, I'm getting way off topic here. Oh, thank goodness for editing programs where they'll edit the spaces for you. Okay, ADHD, I have. Okay, back to my original thought, and then I think I'm going to end with this one thought, because if I have too many thoughts at once, I lose track, because I want to do them all at once, you guys. When an ADHDer talks really fast, they're going to start skipping their words, because their brains go 20 times faster than our mouths do. Our brains also already know how the conversation is pretty much going to go. So we know, like for instance, okay, at this, over Christmas, we had a family get together, and my daughter asked me if the lemon drink was mine. And so I said, yes. And then I said, it's good, or something like that. And she's like, huh? And everybody started laughing. And I was like, that's because I knew you were going to ask me if it was good. So I just told you in advance, kind of thing. Because we take everything into consideration, like everything. And then we go from there. And so that's why sometimes we're either too spontaneous, because we know how long it will take to take everything into consideration, and then we regret it. But then what happens is we learn from that regret. Okay, so the kind of coach I would be more like your strategic best friend who really cares and is unbiased, not judgmental, but I'm warm and not clinical. I'm fun and not sterile. I'm caring, but not to your detriment. Not overly so to where you feel smothered. I give you your space to do your work, because I have ADHD, don't forget. No, I'm just kidding. That's not true. I wouldn't forget. Not if you were my client. I just forget like the dog food on the floor. Okay, so that has been 9 minutes. But if you are struggling, you don't need a coach per se. You just have to realize your own energy patterns. And when you're in motion, what happens? What does your brain start to do? When you're at rest, what does your brain start to do?